Hey everybody, Susan here with Pumpkin Hill Stampers, Stampin' Show and Tell for you today. We're going to be making some 3x3 note cards for this Stampin' Show and Tell. I'm going to be using the painted glass stamp set along with the coordinating framelits, the stained glass thinlits, and we're going to be using a piece of the Designer Series Vellum that I've cut down to fit on a 3x3 note card. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and do the Vellum one first. So this one actually is pretty simple. So I've just cut a card base. I think I used pineapple punch, 3x3. So you have a 6x3 folded in half. I took a piece of our Designer Series paper from the Vellum, and I've cut that down to be just a little bit shy of 3x3, so I'm going to mount that on the front. Now I actually could go ahead and mount that to start with. Now this card's going to have the words go across the center here like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put my vellum right across the middle. So I can put that right on. Just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. This one's going to say thank you. And I'm going to put this on this other piece of pineapple punch. This is a nice, bright, cheery card. Okay, so that's all set. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some color. So I'm going to use the Call Me Clover to add some color. Now, as I said, this is going to go across the middle, so we really don't have to do any of that middle bit. But I thought I would do kind of this part that comes around. Now, I don't know about you, but I really like coloring. It takes time, but I find it relaxing. I think I've told you all this before. And so if you really like to color, these blends and this vellum is really fantastic to work with, because you have to take your time. Color inside the lines is the idea, but you get some really crisp images, and there's really no rules. You can put whatever color on there you want. So I'm just going to mimic that down here. And remember, the blends dry pretty quickly, so you don't have to worry too much about smudging. So for those of you who got the card candy kits, are you creating? If you're creating, you should be snapping photos and sending them to me to share on the show and tell. I love to see what you guys are doing. Okay, so it's going to go there. So now I think I'm just going to add some orange to this plume on top of that. So let me use, let's see, pumpkin pie here. So I'm just going to color in this plume. And then I'm not going to go ahead and add any yellow, because I'm going to let the yellow cardstock shine through the vellum. So that'll be enough yellow for me. So of course, if you want to add even more colored sections, you certainly could. But this vellum really does add a great embellishment all of its own. So, okay. If you want a little bit darker, just add a second layer of ink right over the top. Okay, so there's that. Nice and simple. No worries. I'm just going to put this on with snail, because when you do a 3x3, there's not a lot of give in the envelopes, so you want to have it not thick and tall. You want to have it pretty tight, and I've cut this to fit in between those two black edges. Let me just move it up to the center, and there we go. There is a 3x3 thank you card. Pretty simple, right? So that was easy. Now this one's a little more involved, which is why I saved it for a second. We're going to cut, and I've already done it, so it saves a little time. I used my framelits, right, my coordinating framelits that I keep in my box here. I cut them. I used basic black, and I've cut 2 squares for this one, and I've cut 2 of our quarter circles. This one I used the long rectangle and the half circle. This one I'm going to do with the 2 squares and the 2 quarter circles. So all we're going to do is put them together on our piece of white. Now I do have this so that it should fit right snug and not have any excess, but if we do, we can always trim it off. So I'm going to use my silicone craft mat. Go let me close this up. I'm going to use my silicone craft mat, and I've got my liquid adhesive. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there on my mat. I'm going to take my framelit, flip it over, and I've got my little bit of my sponge here, and I'm just going to dab the adhesive on my sponge, and then I'm going to dab the adhesive on my framelit on the back side. Okay, so that gives you a light coating of adhesive. Now it's very sticky, and I'm just going to place that right in the corner, just like so. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat that. Put this back down. Dab my adhesive on there. Put this one on. Okay, now we've got to do our 2 quarter circles, so a little more glue. So this is a nice kind of application of adhesive for these fine thinlits here. Okay, just like that, and one more. And then when you're done, you can just take your silicone mat to the sink, use some warm water. If you really had to, you could use some soap, but I think the adhesive will probably wash off pretty quickly. Okay, a little more. Get all my edges so nothing's peeling up. Alright, so your fingers get sticky too, so be careful about that, but we're good to go. And put this one on. Just tap that down. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and mat that onto a piece of pumpkin pie here. So everything's just kind of stepped in as I went. Just going to go right on my pumpkin pie mat, and then that's going right on my basic black card. Thought it looked pretty sharp on the black. So just remember you to add a liner to the inside so you can see what you're writing, but that's obvious. Okay, so can you see how it all went together there? Pretty easy, right? So, especially with that trick with the adhesive. All right, let me close that up. Now what I did was I took my blends, right, that I like so much, and we're going to color inside of the framelit. So let's go ahead and use pumpkin pie because I use that as my backer. I think I want to use that palmy clover here too, and well, maybe we'll do yellow. Yeah, so Daffodil Delight. Okay, so we're going to do 3 colors on this one. So now you're just going to go around and color, right? Color. So I'm going to add green frame. So I'm just using my paintbrush tip to kind of push that color down into the framelit to fill it in. Now the nice thing about this card is it's on basic black, so if by chance my blend were to bleed through all the way, you wouldn't see it on the inside. If you end up making cards where they're on a lighter color, you probably want to do all the coloring before you mount. That way your mount is a nice clean backer for the inside. So I'm just coming around, you can see, adding my color. I know some of you really like to use your blends. So this would be a fun way where you could actually make your own design, because all these framelits, the squares, the rectangles, circles, half circles, you could fit them together like a puzzle, make any kind of design you wanted to, really. So there's that. Now let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do the orange on top like I did the last one, because I like the way that kind of looked like a sunrise with the yellow in the bottom. So here's my lighter pumpkin pie. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my darker pumpkin pie and do these like this. So you can see here's the half circle one and everything kind of goes up. This one has a different pattern, the 2/4, but you can put them together to make a half. So really some fun, intricate designs and details you can work with. Okay, let's go ahead and add some Daffodil Delight. I think I'm going to use the dark one. Now when I happen to cut these framelits out, there are 4 little windows here that happen to not pop out of my die, and I didn't push them out. I left them in there because I kind of wanted that thick black. But if you didn't want them in there, there are actually 4 more little spots there that could be opened up. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some yellow in these windows as well. Like I said, you can decide how much color and what color and where the color goes. I just think I want more yellow in here. That, and then I think I'm going to take that light pumpkin pie again and do that center diamond. Now from the set, we've also got some of these fun dies. You can do the butterfly, the rose, or the bird. Now I've done the butterfly ahead of time for this one. So I stamped that with Memento and die cut it with the framelit. So that's nice that that all coordinates for you. And now I'm just going to color in the butterfly. This one I'm going to do all in light. And then I can go over it with the darker color. So there's my base on butterfly. I'll come in with my darker and add some darker spots of detail. My fingers are still a little bit tacky from doing the adhesive. So you may want to have wipes or wash your hands between steps, but it's a little difficult for me to do here with the video. Okay, so there's that, and then, I don't know, I don't think I want to add any green to that. So now I'm going to go ahead and add that with a dimensional. Now, your card might be a little bit thick for the standard envelope, so you might want to just put it on with a glue dot. But I am going to put it on dimensional, and this one I'm going to put right in the middle. Okay, so there we go. Some 3x3 cards for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching me put them together. Hope you have some fun ideas. And if you've got some of this vellum to play with, start playing with it and have fun. So I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thumbs up, comments below are appreciated. Let me know you're enjoying what I'm doing, and you can subscribe to the show and tell news, and all the details for this project will be on next week's edition. Alright everybody, until next time, do some fun stamping. Bye-bye!